Welcome to iTube TV. I'm Christine Canellan, and today I'm joined by my friend Cristina Boggiano, founder of Ophthalmic Associates in Boca Raton, Florida. And obviously she has impeccable taste in fashion. Today we showed up wearing the same thing. So this will be a fun talk, Cristina. I'm glad that you got to join me here today.
It will. Thanks for having me again.
Of course. Well, I want to talk to you a little bit about how you think ophthalmology practices have some of the best ways of differentiating themselves during this very tough economy that we're in right now. And if you can speak a little bit about patient inflow and office design and how that affects recruiting.
Definitely. I think that one of the main things that is concerning ophthalmologists today is healthcare reform and the economic recession. But during these tough times, there are a couple of novel approaches that practices are using to really do their best to maximize patient care and revenue at the same time. One of the things that's interesting while we look forward is to look back and note that over the last year there have been more practices that actually add physicians than those that are actually letting go of physicians or cutting back on recruiting. So the reason that this is happening is because I think that the physicians are the main producers of practice revenue, and so adding a physician to your practice does a lot to actually boost your bottom line. Mm-hmm. So practices are really doing their best to bring on physicians and staff when necessary and doing their best to optimize their current staff in place.
Right. So you mentioned healthcare reform. So with the recent passing of the very historic healthcare reform bill, how do you think that this has changed the way that practices operate, and do you think that this has forced many practices to move towards an integrated model?
Yes, I do. I think that most practices are already utilizing optometrists either in-house or as part of a referral-based network. But now they're moving even further. Optometrists can really help the ophthalmologists in terms of backlog, mm-hmm. as well as helping a practice's revenues by integrating new services. Mm-hmm. So vertical integration of services such as adding contact lenses and low vision to the practice.
Right.
All these things combined really create efficiencies within the practice and really help to, again, increase revenue and also fill the gaps in terms of care.
Right. So, Cristina, can you tell me, how can a practice capitalize on the social media phenomenon that's been occurring over the last couple of years, and how can a practice use that to help market their practices?
Great. Well, along with the traditional and conventional forms of marketing and advertising your practice, these tools actually serve to increase your practice's market presence. And an interesting fact is that hits on Facebook in March of this year actually were greater than those on Google. So although a lot of ophthalmic practices are positioning themselves on Facebook and are pretty ubiquitous, I would definitely encourage those practices to continue using these social sites. Mm-hmm. It allows for interaction with patients that they couldn't really interact with you via your website. So right. It's a great tool, and practices should be using them to stay innovative, relevant.
Right. Absolutely. So in my conversations with ophthalmologists, I'm finding so many of them are so adventurous and have very exciting hobbies in their off time, such as skiing and triathlons and even DJing. Right. So do you think in general ophthalmologists are just a more fun breed than other specialties?
I would definitely agree with that comment and say that one only needs to attend the meetings and really spend some time in the field with ophthalmologists to realize how fun, philanthropic, and right. interesting they can be as a specialty as
right.
a whole.
And adventurous.
Absolutely.
Cristina, thank you so much for joining me again for iTube TV.